Okay, so I want to show you how I update my banner in Google Sites. This is what the site currently looks like. Notice how much bigger the banner is here. This banner is 1920 pixels wide by 510 pixels high. But when you're editing it, look how small it is, and look how much farther past here it goes. So for each one of these banners, for each one of these pages, it changes right here. So on my projects, and since the J under projects went past it, I actually converted this a little bit, and I'll show you later how I did that. But I have a videos page. It's going to change to videos. I just added a page called Daily Doodles. And I've got my first daily doodle here. But because this is a sub page, I created the sub page under videos. It says videos currently, so I want to change this. There's a really neat program called Photopea, and it looks a lot like Photoshop. Notice how I've got the full screen here. I've paid the $40 to get an account with Photopea. If I didn't pay the $40, watch how much smaller my space is to work with. I'm going to tab over to a different browser. So if you don't pay the $40, you can still minimize things like this, so I can get more space here. This is the free version. I haven't signed up for an account on this one. So it had all that space taken away over here. So if I want to minimize this, look how much more space I have in here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a file that I've already saved in Photopea as a Photoshop file. So I'm going to go File, Open. I'm going to go to my Pictures folder, and I've saved all of my banners in a folder called Seahawk Banners for Website. And this is all of the various banners I've created. This is the original artwork that I downloaded from a site called DeviantArt. I've requested permission from this artist to use this image. I have not heard back from them as to whether or not they're going to let me license it, but you can see all the various banners. These are all JPEGs. The ones that don't have previews are Photoshop files. And you can see when I roll over it, it says type Photoshop image. Type on this one as a JPEG. So I'm going to open up one of these Photoshop images. Let's use the video one. I've labeled it Seahawk Banner underscore 1920 by 510 underscore videos. So that lets me know which one it is. Here's the Photoshop file, so I'm going to double click this. Now, since I've got this saved in layers, I can go to my layers palette, which is here. I'm going to change the word videos to daily doodles. So I'm going to go up here. This is a text layer. You can tell because it's got the letter T in it, and it tells you which layer of text it is. I'm going to select the text tool, highlight this area here, and type in daily doodles. And since it goes below the line, I'm just going to move it up like this. I've used the selection tool here, and I'm just going to move this straight up. Oops, except I misspelled doodles. And I like the look of this blending right down in here. What I don't like is there's too much space in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the daily part, cut that out, Control X, or Command X on a Macintosh computer. So I'm going to move doodles down here, select the text tool. So now that I've placed it where I want it, I'm going to minimize this by clicking these two little hashtags up here. Whoops, wrong one. This one. So here's my final. I'm going to play around a little bit with this placement by just tapping the arrow keys. I'm going to squash these together. So I'm going to do File, Save as PSD. It's going to save it to my one more thing. On the banner here, I'm going to double click and change this one to Daily Doodles before I save it. That way, when I do File, Save As, PSD, save it back into that same folder, which is in my Pictures folder, in a folder called Seahawk Banners. Notice how it already saved it here, Daily Doodles, save. Then I'm going to do File, Publish Online, Export as JPEG. It's got my 1920 by 510. Click Save. And this will save it as a JPEG. Then I'm going to close Photopea. Go back here. I'm on my Daily Doodles page. Change the image. Upload the file. And here's my Daily Doodles banner. It's going to import it in, and then it's going to darken it over here. So I'm going to click this again so that it makes it light. Publish it. And then I'm going to preview it down here at the bottom when it comes up as a view. So now I've got my projects, my videos, and my Daily Doodles, so that you can always tell what page you're on here. And that's how you do a banner using Photopea in Google Sites.